Okay, very good afternoon, children. Let me start this class. So yesterday we discussed about half of this lesson. So I'm planning to finish. So how many characters you just recollect whatever we have discussed? Yes. Characters are Juman Sheikh, Algu Chaudhary, Juman's aunt, Juman's wife and Samju Sahu. We have already completed part 1 and part 2. And what is that introduction? This story, what is all about in this story? Actually this story is about the realization of two friends. It's a matter of friendship, okay, who understood the importance of justice and right things in life. Meaning for them, okay, friendship was a basic need for them, but apart from that, they give importance to the justice and right things in life. Meaning what is important in life and what is justice, what is truth, okay, what is value. Life made them realize that first of all they were not aware of these things, but when situation changed, then this life they learned it. They realized that justice and right things are above everything, including friendship. Okay, they understood the same only, justice and right things are above everything, including friendship. Okay, so now that first part and second part I am going to discuss very shortly, and after that I am going to discuss in detail part 3. Okay, what it is there? Actually, the story starts with their friendship. Juman and Algu Chaudhary, they were very good friends, and everybody in their locality, they used to support them and they used to love them, like them due to their friendship and due to their loyalty. Okay, and they deserve respect in this society. And next character, one character introduced, Juman's aunt. Actually, she was an old lady and she transferred her property to Juman on a condition that he would look after her throughout her remaining life. But Juman and his wife, after a couple of years, they changed their behavior. They are not treating very well to that lady. Okay, they were not even giving food on time. Yes, when things went beyond limit, she spoke Juman and asked him to give her some money on a monthly basis so that she could run her house independently. And old lady, she was helpless and she also understood their behavior. Okay. She changed her decision. Okay, she also realized that she is not at all wanted in their family and she planned to shift somewhere and she wanted to live her life independently so that she can run her house. But when she spoke the matter to Juman, he neglected her and insulted her. Then what happened? She tried to seek help from the neighbors. Okay, some of the neighbors supported her. Some of the neighbors told, yes, you just adjust with Juman's family. Some laughed at her comment, at her behavior. Some commented something negative. All these things she became very, disheartened, and she dared to take the matter to the Panchayat Samiti. Okay, and she thought her problem will not be solved. Then the matter should go to the Panchayat. She went to Panchayat. Then she chose Algu, who is Juman's best friend, as her head punch. Okay, next part. Part 2. Being a punch, Algu had no choice. Actually, Algu was not interested to fight this, that case. But what happened? She instigated him in such a way, then he ultimately agreed to do so. Okay, and Juman thought he is Juman's best friend. Algu is Juman's best friend, so definitely he will just give favor of Juman. But as soon as Algu reached to that part when that old lady said, yes, old lady actually she said, okay, the panchayat meaning a panchayat, those who are head panch, they have certain responsibility as a judge and dignity of his office. Okay, he can't give anything whatever coming in his mind. Whatever he will speak, he has to speak from the, to the point answer he has to give. Okay, because Panch knows neither friend nor enemy. What do you say to Algi Chaudhary? The lady announced. Meaning what? Meaning whatever you will say. Okay, he can't see who is his friend, who is his enemy. For him, he has to be very unique and very loyal. Okay, God lives in the heart of the Panch. Okay, so then she said, I also know that you will not kill your conscience. She was motivating in such a way, you will not kill your conscience for the sake of friendship. God lives in the heart of the Panch and his voice is the voice of God. Then the old lady explained, and all these words, it motivated him. And Algu Chaudhary, after that, he gave his judgment. Okay, and what was his judgment? Yes, judgment is gone in favor of that old lady, Juman's aunt. Okay, Algu said, Juman, you and I are very good friends, but your aunt is as dear to me as you. Now I am a Panch, you and your aunt are equal before me. What have you to say in your defense? Then 3 years ago, yes, your aunt transferred her property to you and I promised to support her as long as she lived. I have done all I could. There have been a couple of quarrels between my wife and her, but I can't stop it. But now what happened? His aunt is claiming a monthly allowance from him. This is not at all possible for him to give. Yes, then Juman was cross-examined by Algu and others. Then Algu announced. He just tried to get all the evidence, from the source, and then he gave his justice. What was his justice? Yes, justice has gone in favor of Juman's aunt. Okay, what is that? Juman must pay his aunt a monthly allowance, or else the property goes back to her. Now, the two friends are seldom seen together. The bond of friendship between them was broken. In fact, Juman was Algu's enemy and wanted his revenge. Okay, so this much you have understood. This is the first one for part 1 and part 2. Any question from this side? And now I will start the next part. Do you have any doubts regarding this? Okay, if you have doubts, you just write down. Okay. So first part and part 2 I have already discussed. Now I am going to discuss part 3. Okay, so let me go back. Okay, so now few days later, Algu was caught up in a fix, meaning in a very difficult situation. In this part 2, this page all of you watch, it is about part 3. Okay, one of his pair of bullocks died, so he sold his other bullock to Samju Sahu. Okay, days passed as his ill luck would have it. Algu Chaudhary found himself in a tight spot. Why? Because one of his 5 pair of bullocks died and he sold the other to Samju Sahu, a cart driver of the village. The understanding was that Samju Sahu would pay the price of the bullock in a month's time. It so happened that bullock died within a month. Oh my God. Then what happened? So Samju Sahu was not ready to pay money to Algu. This is a very great problem. Okay, why? Several months after the bullock's death, Algu reminded Sahu of the money he hadn't yet paid. Sahu got very annoyed. He said, I can't pay you a money, I can't pay you a penny for the rash beast you sold me. He brought us nothing but ruin. I have a bullock. Use it for a month and then return it to me. No money for the dead bullock, he said angrily. Okay, because his bullock died even before this expiry date, and that's why he declined to give money to him. Okay, then Algu decided to refer the case to the Panchayat for a second time in a few months. Preparation for holding the Panchayat were made and both the parties started meeting people seeking their support. Then Samju Sahu was not ready to give money to Algu. Now Algu was left with no other option but to take the case to the Panchayat. He had decided to go to the Panchayat and discuss the matter. This time Samju Sahu appointed Juman. Okay, now enemy of Algu as the head punch. Okay, so now Samju Sahu is a very smart person. What he has done, he chose Juman as a head punch because he was knowing both Juman and Algu were not friends now. Their friendship is both broken already and now they are the enemies. So due to this one, he tried to take the chance and he tried to take the opportunity. Okay, so now Algu was afraid of losing the case, but Juman had to speak the truth. Why? The Panchayat, after that what happened? The Panchayat was held under the whole banyan tree. Algu stood up and said, the boys of Panch is the boys of God. Let Sahu nominate the head Panch. I will abide by his decision. Okay, then whoever will be the Panch, then he has to abide by this rule because this is the normal norms of this court. Sahu saw his chance and proposed the name of Juman. Algu's heart sank and he turned pale, but what can he do? Yes, Algu, although he became a bit nervous when he heard about his name, but he didn't mind. He said, the voice of Panch is the voice of God. The moment Juman became head Panch, he realized his responsibility as a judge and the dignity of his office. Could he, seated in that high place, have his revenge now? He thought and thought, no, he must not. He must not allow his personal feelings to come in the way of speaking the truth and doing justice. See, whenever he was just thinking, yes, as I heard, he can't take in favor of somebody. He has to speak what is right and correct. Okay. So he gave judgment in favor and ordered Sahu to pay the money to Algu. Now, yes, although Algu was a bit afraid of losing the case, but Juman had to speak the truth. Both Algu and Sahu started their cases. They were cross-examined and the case was considered deeply. Then Juman stood up and announced, it is our opinion that Sahu should pay Algu the price of the bullock. Okay, when Sahu bought the bullock, he suffered from no disability or disease. The death of the bullock was just unfortunate, but Algu cannot be blamed for it. Algu could not contain his feelings. He stood up and said loudly over and over again, victory to the Panchayat, that this is justice. God lives in the voice of the punch. Okay? So what happened here? He has to take the favor. When Juman took the chair of judge, that automatically his conscious mind is changed. That his conscience arise. He thought, yes, he had to speak the truth. He has to give justice because now he is the judge. And all the eyes are set on him. Okay, all the villagers are just waiting for his justice. Because judge can't see who is his friend and who is his enemy. Neither friends nor enemies. For him all are equal. So both Algu and Shahu stated their cases, they examined and they everything, and then after that they understood and give that case in favor of Algu. Then what happened? Algu was so overwhelmed. He was so happy and he declared aloud that the voice of the punch is the voice of God. Okay, soon after Juman came to Algu, embraced him and said, "Since the last Panchayat I had become your enemy. Today I realized that it meant to be a Panch. A Panch has no friend nor enemy. He knows only justice. Let no one debate from the path of justice and truth for friendship or enmity." Okay, so they understood one another now. And he declared aloud that the voice of the punch is the voice of God. This is the very important line, children. You just underline this one. Okay, this is the most important line, tag mark of this chapter. Then both the friends hugged each other and their tears cleaned their hearts. Okay, they embraced their friends and wept. His tears washed away all the darts of misunderstanding between them. So this is the overall story of this. My dear children, now if you have any doubts, anything, you just tell me. Any confusion regarding the saying, just tell me. Okay? If you have any doubts, now just write it down, my dear children. Anything you have? Meaning very happy, overwhelmed meaning very happy, overexcited or happy. Yes. Anybody has got any question? Okay. Very good. So next class I will discuss all these question answers. So anyone? No doubts? Okay. So let me just try to recapitulate what we have learned from this story. Anything? Okay. Okay. Now, so try to, children, if you have this book, you try to read this lesson. Okay. So this is a very interesting, very important lesson. And tag mark I have already told. Yes. This story, first of all, Juman and Alku were very good friends, and all the people of their locality, they used to praise them due to their friendship. Okay, and understanding. Okay, so but what happened here? And they have their friend, they have their Juman. He has got his aunt, and actually his aunt, he transferred his property to Juman in a condition they should look after her and give her timely food and all the responsibility. But after a couple of years, they declined to do so. Their behavior towards this old lady is changed. And now then she felt she was not at all wanted in their family, and she felt so bad. And then she realized that she should make her separate kitchen. Then she talked to Juman Sheikh about this matter, but he just neglected her and laughed at her. Then she tried to take support of the neighbors, but neighbors also, some supported Juman, some supported her, some laughed at her, some commented, meaning she didn't get full support. Then she planned to go to Panchayat. Okay, and she selected Juman Sheikh as a head punch. And then what happened when Juman Sheikh became head punch? He has got a change in his mind. He realized he has to, although they are he's a very good friend of Algu, but he has to speak the truth. And after getting all the evidence, he gave support in favor of, gave justice in favor of his aunt. And when he gets this support, then what happened? Algu Chaudhary and Juman Sheikh's friendship had broken. Okay, they developed enmity among themselves. Juman Sheikh developed enmity. Okay, so this is the one part of this story. And next part is that what? Now, Algu Chaudhary's case, he also become bit, very, tight position, in a difficult position. He was not at all happy. Okay, because one of his fine pair of bullocks died, and he sold it, one of that pair he sold it to Juman Sheikh. ठीक है. See, few days later, Algu was also in a very tight position. What happened? He sold one of his fine pair of bullocks. One of the fine pair bullocks died, and one sold to Samju Sahu. But one of that pair was also died. Okay, before the expiry of the period of his payment. After its bullock's death, Samju Sahu declared he will not pay a single penny to Algu. And now Algu is in a very tight position. He needs money. But Algu was left with no other option. Nobody supported him. And then what happened? He went to take the shelter of Panchayat. Okay, but Samju Sahu is a very clever man. He appointed Juman as his head punch. But Algu is in a tension because he thought now they are not friends only. So they can do anything. Okay, so he gave judgment. But what happened? When Juman took the chair of this judge, there is a change in his mind. His hatred has gone. Now he realized that he has a head punch, he has to speak the truth. Because all the villager, all the people are depending on him. A voice of punch is the voice of God. So all are looking after his judgment. So he can't say anything negative. What is correct, he has to speak. Then he gave judgment in favor of his friend. Okay, he took all the evidence, he also collected all the evidence. Okay, what kind of evidence he has collected? See, Juman, it was his opinion Sahu should pay Algu the price of the bullock. When Sahu bought the bullock, when he purchased the bullock, it suffered from no disability or disease. The death of the bullock was just a unfortunate, but Algu cannot be blamed for it. Algu could not contain his feelings. He stood up and said loudly over and over again. Then he was so happy. He said, "Victory to the Panchayat. This is the justice. God lives in the boys of the Panch." Algu was so happy when his friend gave justice, because as a judge he gave the correct judgment, and this changed their life. Both Algu and Juman, they understood one another and their responsibilities as a head panch. Soon after, Juman came to Algu and embraced him and said, "Since the last panchayat I had become your enemy. Today I realized what I meant to be a panch. A panch has no friend nor enemy, he knows only justice. Let no one depart from the path of justice and truth for friendship or enmity." Algu embraced his friend and wept, and his tears washed away all the dirts and misunderstanding between them. Okay, they hugged one another and their tears cleaned their hearts. So this is overall of this story. I hope all of you have understood. Now if anybody has got any doubt regarding the same, you just tell me. ठीक है, अभी समझ में आया सबको? Okay. What are the names of these two friends? Name of two friends? Do you know name of two friends? Yes, very good. Yes, Juman, Sheikh and Algu Chaudhary. Yes. Who was that old lady? Was that old lady? Yes, very good. Who was that old lady? Yes, was that old lady? Old lady was Juman's aunt. Yes, yes, old lady was Juman's aunt. Okay. What was Juman's problem? What was his first problem? Juman's problem? Juman's problem was that he was not looking after his aunt and he was not taking care of her. Okay? And Samju Sahu's problem, Samju Sahu, who was Samju Sahu here? Samju Sahu was a cart driver. Samju Sahu was a cart driver. Okay. Yes. Yes. Very good. He did not look after his aunt and he did not give enough food to aunt. Very good. Yes. Very nice. Yes. Who said victory to the panchayat? This is justice. Who said victory to the panchayat? This is justice. Who said this? Who said victory to the panchayat? This is justice. Algu Chaudhary. Yes, Algu Chaudhary said the same thing. Okay. You can tell me, my wife knows best how to run the family. Who said? My wife knows how to run the family. My wife knows best how to run the family. Who said this? Who said this? Yes, Juman Sheikh said it. Juman Sheikh said it. Okay, my dear children, that's all for today. So tomorrow I'll discuss question answers. So get ready, all of you, please read this lesson and try to understand this lesson well. Okay, my dear children, thank you. Thank you for attending this class. Bye bye, see you soon. Stay home, stay safe. Thank you.